Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. I'm sorry for the really late start. Lot of things going on that was a little bit beyond my control, and it wasn't even just computer issues. It was just personal issues, to say the very least. Unfortunately, Michael Bullock will not be on the show tonight, guys. Mike Bullock basically is out and about, and I got the message literally about 20 minutes ago, basically saying that he was out for tonight's show. So it's going to be a three-person panel. Deed Woodson, Anthony Florio, and you guys know it's yours truly, good old MF Mike Fletcher. So tonight, we're only going to be talking about SmackDown Live, and then for the Mikey's Mindset, I'm about to do something that is basically on my control. The only thing I'm covering tonight, the only thing that I feel is relevant tonight is the official RWA Legacy preview that's going down this Saturday night. This is their WrestleMania. So tonight, Lucha Underground and Ring of Honor is taking a back seat for 1 week only because I am covering what undoubtedly will become the biggest wrestling show in the state of Rhode Island. They are getting top billing. They're going to get the all-out preview tonight on the Mikey's Mindset, and that's how our show's going to go. All right? So, with that said, we're going to jump right off with SmackDown Live, and we started it out with an in-ring segment with Jinder Mahal, the WWE Champion, and interrupted by Randy Orton. But the most notable thing tonight, for the first time on network television, you got to see it, the Punjabi prison in full effect. All right. Now, the Singh brothers basically said in the fight how it was going to go. So let me allow you guys what the rules are going to be. Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal will be locked in the Punjabi prison. It is 2 tiers of the prison. There's an inner tier, which is going to be surrounding the ring, and an outer tier, almost the equivalent like a Hell in a Cell. Now, there are 4 trap doors basically aligned on each side of here. When a wrestler recommends for one of those doors to be open, a referee will open the door. You got 60 seconds to get out of that doorway. After the 60 seconds is up, the door gets slammed shut. Locked. You cannot use that door again. Once that door is locked, it is locked. It cannot be used. When all 4 of those trap doors are locked, then the only way to escape is by over the top, and then you got to hit the floor to make it to the second. Then, in the second tier, you got to go over the top, and both feet must touch the floor in order to win the Punjabi prison. Now, note, important, on both tiers of the Punjabi prison, weapons will be surrounding this as well. These weapons could be kendo sticks, steel chairs, whatever. They are weapons that you can use on your opponent in the fight. There you go. That's the scale of the Punjabi prison. I don't know how awesome it was on TV. It probably was an amazing sight to see at if you were in the arena tonight. Kind of a little tough to see on TV. I hope WWE cleans that up, because even the promo itself was okay. Nice on Randy Orton's part, not so great on Jinder Mahal. But just to see the Punjabi prison, I kind of was like, wow. But I hope it's better. This is kind of an under the radar fight, so we'll see what happens. But I thought this was a solid way to start off SmackDown Live. The Punjabi prison. I didn't think they were gonna have it, but they did. So this was pretty awesome. Anthony Floyo, come on in, my friend. It is, or allegedly tells it like it is. Give me your thoughts about this.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, what is there to say? The Punjabi prison. I mean, wow. I mean, it's been 10 years since we've seen it, and we get to see it on free television. I mean, this is the second time this year SmackDown Live has done something that we've never seen on free television before. So the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we got that on free television, about a month ago. And now a month later, for the first time on free television, we get the Punjabi prison. Unbelievable. And I pretty much agree with it. I mean, it was a boilerplate opening segment from these two. I can't say I've been particularly into this feud, but the Punjabi prison is an interesting spectacle, and it should allow them to take some shortcuts and avoid some of the slow and plodding matches they are both known for. I don't have extremely high expectations, but I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. That's all I can say on that. So yeah, I mean, what a sight to behold, and that's all I can say. I mean, MF pretty much touched on everything, so I'm not gonna go any further. So I would probably say I probably would say second best segment of the night. I think there was one segment that was better. So with that being said, Didi Woodson, your thoughts on the Punjabi prison being shown on free television for the first time ever?
Yeah, that was a thing of well, I don't want to say it was a thing of beauty, but it was awesome to see it appear on free television, and watching them lower the outer cage after they entered the inner one, and it was kind of awesome to see that, and like you said, on free television at that, not on the pay-per-view like we will be seeing Sunday. So yeah, as usual, Jinder needing a lot of help with his mic work. Didn't really do that great of a job. Singh brothers, yeah, they did a good job explaining the rules, but at the same time, same old song and dance. Jinder is getting to be very boring of a champion, just kind of like I thought he would be. Not your enjoyable champion that you'd want to see. Not somebody you look forward to watching every week. But Orton definitely made the segment a lot better there at the end, as he was climbing up and talking at the same time and doing his famous pose at the end. So yeah, it was an okay start. Not the best segment in the world, but it is what it is. So Fletch, it's yours.
And not only that, but it also sold the fact that, this was the Punjabi prison. And I think that is pretty cool, is that when SmackDown Live can do innovative stuff like this, and, we're really stealing a page from Monday Night Raw, if you really think about it. Because if you remember, years and years and years ago, Raw used to be that innovative show. They didn't care about, they like to show things. When they talked about the Elimination Chamber the first time, which was from the demonic mind of Eric Bischoff, and, how that came about, and, the how they kind of provided the blueprint. We didn't see it in full structure until the night of Survivor Series, but him disguising it, giving us at least a little look of what it could be, giving us that vision, that idea, and we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. But to see the Punjabi prison, and we did not need to wait to see it, they gave it to us on a silver platter in the house tonight. That's even a major coup for SmackDown Live to do that. So, I mean, again, elevating our game. We're stepping up. When everybody says, all right, SmackDown, what can you bring to the table? Look what we gave you. The Punjabi prison. And maybe you might not have asked for it, but you got it. Right before our very eyes. And, oh yes, are we intrigued? You're damn right we're intrigued. Now, you don't have to say anything about it. Of course, it is definitely going to be an interesting situation. Now, another interesting development that came out was we once again had another New Day versus Usos. This time, Jimmy Uso going one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. As many of you know, last week, Jey Uso went up against, I believe it was Big E. Big E Langston got the victory last week. That was after the heels of the epic 4th of July battle rap. Well, this time around, score one for the tag team champions. The Usos gets the victory this time around as Jimmy Uso defeats Kofi Kingston by 8 minutes and by a pinfall, 8 minutes and 12 seconds. Kofi goes for the high cross body, gets reversed. 1, 2, 3. That's a clean victory, folks. We can't call shenanigans on this one. Clean win. Congratulations, Jimmy Uso. Anthony Floyo, it's all yours, my friend.
Yeah, solid match here. I'm gonna give it a solid 2.5 stars. I mean, I thought it was a fine match for what it was. You know, it was some good action throughout, and I got to be honest. I think this match was actually better than the other match because you have the two, stronger workers. When it comes to body of work. I mean, Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston. They're the more they have the more stronger bodies of work than Big E and Jey Uso, and that's why we had that match was a little bit on the shorter end last week. This one a little longer, which is always a good thing, and solid action throughout, and now we're even. That's as it should be, and now it gets us to thinking, okay, who do we go with? Do we go with the Usos to retain on Sunday night, or do we go with the New Day to become the first tag team in history to win both the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championship? Well, only time will tell, and of course we'll get into that on Friday night when we do our Battleground preview show in place of Strictly Sports, which I think is a great move. So that's all I can say there. 2.5 stars, solid for me. So nothing left to say. Didi, what's in your thoughts on this match? I thought it was better than the match from last week with Jey and Big E.
Oh yeah, it was a lot better. You had high flying Kofi in there, and although we're not all big fans of the roll up pin, him rolling through that move there at the end for the pin, that for Jimmy. I mean, that was just it was a stroke of genius on a way to reverse it right there at the last second, just so that they can get the win. I mean, it was a strong match, but yeah, I agree with the rating. Good opener. So, Fletch, it's yours.
2.5 stars. I agree, guys. This was a very good match, solid fight, and I love the fact that they do the high cross body, reversed over, and you get the 1, 2, 3. No pulling of the tights. There was no backdoor chicanery. It was a clean win, and you would think that the Usos might try to do something to try to pull some kind of monkey business or something like that, but no, they didn't pull no funny business this time around. They got the big victory, and I'm happy with that. So big win for that, and I'm happy with it. I can definitely deal with it, and we'll just move on to. Okay, guys, here we go. We've waited for it for maybe a little while, but we finally got it. The debut of Mike Canales. He finally gets in the ring, goes one-on-one with Sami Zayn, the winner of the bout, at 6 minutes and 2 seconds. It is Mike Canales gets the victory as he hits the power of love. It's a fireman's carry into a sit-down power bomb. Ouch! Nice maneuver for a victory. So if that's the finishing maneuver, see. But without that, uh, let's give it to Dee Woodson. I know you're very high on Maria. You love Maria Canales. You finally got to see her husband in action. What did you think of Mike Canales in his debut?
Very, very different from what I saw of him when he was on Impact. They definitely have this character quite different, but wow, that was some debut. I'm not surprised that Maria threw herself into the ring, trying to give Mike his little breather so that he could, pull the move at the end. I'm not going to rate it any higher than the first match. I'm probably going to rate this one probably 1.5 to 2 stars, but it was still a very good match. These two seem to work really good off of each other, especially, them building this up the last few weeks the way they have for Mike's debut. And, it seemed fitting. So, but not much more I'm going to say about it. So it's yours, Fletch.
I'll probably say it was okay. I mean, yeah, I get it. It was the first time out. So, and I know a lot of people, even the fans in the IWC, weren't really too enthused about his performance. Okay, fine. I mean, first time out. But look, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. These guys, they had a nice little accord. I want to see a little more. And I think with Mike Canales, you got to give him a little bit of a chance. I know, look, he did a lot better in TNA. He's definitely a lot more better than what we see in Ring of Honor. But look, under the circumstances, under the time that they gave him, they only gave him about 6 minutes total. So, I mean, that's not really enough to say one way or another about Mike Canales in the ring. I think if this would have been maybe 10 minutes, a 10-minute match, maybe we get that in a rematch down the line. Maybe have them fight, them like do another fight at Battleground, maybe in a pre-show fight. We'll see. But when it comes to that, it was okay. I'm not going to say bravo or anything like that, but what we saw is what we saw. What we got is what we got. 1.5 stars. I could give it between 1.5 and 2. Not bad. Anthony, it's all yours.
I'm right there. 1.5 to 2 is my rating for this as well. Whole lot of meh for me on that one. Mike didn't really show a lot in the ring there, and the dynamic between him and Maria. I mean, they're great, but he just didn't show a lot in the ring, and I hope they'll be able to turn it around. But at this point, it just feels like Mike is incompetent in the ring, and his wife tilts the table for him. I mean, that's really all there is to it. And it kind of felt like some of his TNA matches a little bit. Most of them were on the meh side of things, and that's what it was for me here. A little disappointing as well. I mean, it was a short match. I mean, too short for my liking, considering the talent involved. I mean, Sami Zayn, we know what he can do. ROH, NXT, Monday Night Raw, and now SmackDown Live, and Mike Kanellis, another ROH mainstay with the Kingdom, him and Maria, we all know that. And then TNA, and now on SmackDown Live. So, I mean, with a little more time and a little more seasoning, this would have been better. But unfortunately, 1.5 to 2, I agree with you guys 100% on that. I thought they would have saved this for Battleground, but they gave it to us here tonight. So, who knows what happens next. So 1.5 to 2, I agree with that. So nothing more to say except MF. I think it's time to move on to the franchise player.
And if we're talking about John Cena, absolutely, he cuts a pretty good promo here, basically hyping up the entire Battleground card, which, I got to say it. I need to call out you people in Philadelphia. What the bleep is wrong with you idiots? What? Because of the fact that you got a Punjabi prison, a women's revolution, possible a U.S. title fight, a tag team title fight, and also on top of that, you get Nakamura, and you can't even sell out the freaking Wells Fargo Arena. I don't know what's with you, Philadelphia. I am not feeling the Philadelphia right now, and I'm a little annoyed with you guys because of that. It got so bad, WWE had to drop their prices. Ringside seats are now $75. Are you kidding me? They were at $125. They're $75. It's unbelievable. I'm gonna get into another rant on another day, but Cena comes out, basically talking about his fight with Rusev, showing a lot of love to the United States of America. Awesome. Rusev does come out. A little fight does break out. Interesting thing to see. So, definitely major hype for the flag match. Bulgaria versus USA in Philadelphia on Sunday night. Anthony Folio's yours.
Well, this to me was the segment of the night, if I'm going to be real honest. I mean, we know how intense John Cena does. Some thought the promo was downright obnoxious. Some of them did think that. Hulk Hogan never compared any of his matches to the American Revolution, D-Day, or the Great Depression, and 9/11 of all things. It all just came across, like that. But I understand wanting to make a patriotic pitch for a USA versus anti-America promo, but it was so far beyond any connection to reality that it's mind-boggling. How did Cena, not object to going through that? Is Bulgaria some great American enemy that I'm not aware of? And that's just what some of the people said. That's not what I say. I say this was the segment of the night. It's John Cena. John Cena, you know how John Cena is. He's money on the mic all the time, just like Paul Heyman is. I couldn't believe some of the reviews I've read. It's unbelievable. You can't please everybody. Some didn't like this segment. But others like myself, I enjoyed it because Cena was amazing. You know how much I love the intensity he shows during his promos, and that's why I've compared him to MF. MF and Cena are, right there. It's almost. If MF was out there cutting a promo, he'd probably do the same thing. So, I also love the fact that he did bring up those great American, traditions and the whole 9 yards. And I know Bulgaria is not really the biggest, American threat out there, but it's still a USA anti-America promo. And I just couldn't believe. Reading some of these reviews, I'm like, okay, your opinion, I understand, but with all due respect, your opinion is wrong because I thoroughly enjoyed the segment, mainly because of Cena's intensity. And then on top of that, you put heat on Rusev. That's exactly what you have to do. Rusev got the heat on him. He jumps Cena from behind. He ambushes Cena from behind, and then he puts him in the accolade. That's how you put heat on someone. Of course, it's obviously going to mean booking 101, and it looks like Cena's probably going to go over. We'll tell you what we think Friday night, but regardless of what some people say, what some of the reviewers say, in my opinion, this to me was the segment of the night. That's all I can say on that. Great way to sell it, and he put heat on Rusev. That storyline progression, what SmackDown Live has always been known for. Well done. Edie Whitson, what says you?
Definitely segment of the night. Yeah, Cena he tore it up, bringing the patriotic stuff, the battles in history, even, going as far as to bringing in the more recent Two Tower fiasco that happened on 9/11. And he's right. In every case, the flag stood tall and was still there. That's why it's in the national anthem that that the flag was still there. And I think we're all hoping to see, for this flag match that it is going to be the United States flag that's there at the end and not the Bulgarian one. But they put Rusev over tonight, which is good for the heel standpoint. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens Sunday night for the pay-per-view. But definitely, this was definitely the segment of the night. Definitely, story progression and leaving you wanting more and more and more of this, and making you really want to look forward to the this match on Sunday. So not much more I have to say about it. So Fletch, I toss it to you.
And then we get ourselves into, well, one of the key fights of the night, which is basically the women taking the forefront. And well, why not? Becky Lynch one-on-one with Charlotte Flair. This is actually to whet the appetite of the women, because remember, at Battleground, there's a fatal 5-way. The winner gets a shot at the SmackDown Women's title against Naomi. And this one was a really interesting one, because when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout at 7 minutes and 54 seconds, it was the last kicker, Becky Lynch, getting the victory, a disarmer on Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte taps out. All right, Anthony Florio, I believe it's you. You get to lead off on this. My girl Becky Lynch knocks off the Queen for tonight. What do you think about that?
I could go into full-on Jesse mode and call it an atrocity, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, the reason I say that, folks, is because of this. I mean, me and MF, I mean, these are our two girls right here. I mean, it's well documented, my love affair with Charlotte Flair. I mean, I worship the ground the woman walks on, for goodness sakes. Not just because of her father, who was one of my childhood heroes, one of my many, many, many childhood heroes, but her natural, not just her in-ring ability, but also her beauty as well. And yes, it's no secret. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've got a thing for that one. Just as much as MF has a thing for Becky Lynch, because MF has a thing for fiery redheads, and I know MF must have been channeling his inner Luigi PS3 and going, yes, like Luigi PS3 always likes to do when one of her favorites win. And I know MF was probably bouncing around like Tigger because of Becky Lynch actually winning. And hey, Becky Lynch beats Charlotte Flair. I mean, whoa, that never happened before. That's great. I mean, all kinds of wonderful came out of this. I got to say, this was my second best fight of the night, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm going to rate it between 2.5 to 3 stars. Yes, it was a bit clunky at times, but I enjoyed the match, very much so. They have wonderful chemistry together, and they push the pace in a way that few matchups in this division will attempt. And the reversals throughout the match were clever, and they went for a clean finish, even though they had plenty of excuses around not to. And this was a nice boost for Becky, who has been an excellent babyface. but in recent memory, she's lacked that signature win. Not tonight, folks. She got that signature win, beating her quote unquote bestie, because they are both on the babyface side of things, and of course this whole T thing that has become a major snafu on social media. I mean, especially on Twitter, and of course we see this new thing that I came across. They took their characters from the video game and they're now calling them T Generation X. Okay, pretty interesting. So yeah. So MF, hey, your girl beat my girl, and I know that makes you a very happy man. And if I'm a wrestling fan standpoint, it makes me happy too, because Becky has. I've never recalled Becky, getting one over on Charlotte Flair. She got it done tonight. Well done. And again, just like we saw with the Cena and Rusev segment, storyline progression, and then you give Becky some momentum. She clearly needed it. Well done, because she had been completely and tragically underutilized. But at least they finally gave her that signature win, beating my girl, the Queen Charlotte Flair. So well done, Becky. And I know MF's going to be a very happy man, and I'm sure he's going to address that when we get to him. So nothing left for me to say. This was my second best fight of the night for me, 2.5 to 3 stars. So that being said, Didi Woodson, what did you and Callie think of that, cutie?
Definitely a 3-star fight. It was very well done. I even liked the little battle we had after the match was over, where all the competitors came out there, and you really got to see the stare down between Tamina and Lana, which makes you wonder exactly where they're going to stand when it comes to the match. I mean, just perfect storyline progression. We've been saying it all night long. SmackDown is notorious for it. Okay, Callie, I think they can hear you. So yeah, great match. Great, after the match fight. Great storyline progression. Not much more I have to say about it. Even enjoyed the interview that we don't usually talk about afterwards, where you actually got to see Carmella, hold up the title until Naomi basically, everywhere you go, me and my buddy here are going to go. And of course, her buddy being the Money in the Bank title shot that she's got. So, great segment, great match, great battle. 3 stars. Fletch, it's yours.
All right. All right. Yes, indeed. And it seems like Callie definitely wanted to put its 2 paws in there.
Yep, 2 paws.
And yeah, most definitely. Callie very happy as well. So,
and one more thing is I'd like to see what Anthony said about you jumping like Tigger.
Look, first off, I wasn't jumping like Tigger, so Floyo got that wrong. So I'm just gonna set the record straight on that. I was happy Becky won. I kind of did like a pumping of the fist, just like a regular fist pump. Anthony knows what I mean about that. Nah, if this would have been like a title win, then it's almost similar to like when Michael Bullock was jumping up and down like a maniac after the Boston Bruins won the Eastern Conference Championship on that infamous Strictly Sports episode. Floyo knows about it too well. That fateful night. Huh?
Greatest episode ever to this day.
Yeah, so that would, if Becky Lynch wins the belt again, then that probably will happen. But no, I was not bouncing like Tigger, just to set the record straight. Much to Anthony Floyo's chagrin, I think he was thinking I did that. Nah, I mean, come on, it's a SmackDown Live victory. I don't think I get too excited about that. Unless it's like Survivor Series or like, you know, like a major pay-per-view. If she would have won the title at WrestleMania, I'm gone. Somebody gonna have to hold me back at that point. But nah, this was good. This is solid, and I agree. This was a far better fight than we expected. This was 2.5 to 3 stars, maybe 3.25. Now I might be pushing 3.25, but second best fight of the night, no doubt about it. Okay, let's get into the main event of the evening, which was a tag team match in the bank, Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens, and they go up against the super team of the artists as Shinsuke Nakamura and the WWE United States Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles, and the winner of the bout was this Kevin Owens, and Baron Corbin gets the win as Owens gets the victory on AJ Styles. That means Owens gets momentum going into Battleground. Not good if you're an AJ Styles fan. This was not a phenomenal night for the good guys. The bad guys get to rule the roost. That means Anthony Floyo would probably have given me the business on this. He would probably say, "Ha ha! You see there, Fletcher? Look at your boys right now. Look at the face." The so-called face of America, AJ Styles, getting beaten up by the real face of America, Kevin Owens. I love it. Fortunately, I probably had to have heard that tonight, but oh well, it happens, guys. So, with that said, who gets to lead off? Actually, I believe it's Dee Dee Woodson. So, Dee Dee, it's all on you, my dear.
Oh,
what are you laughing at?
Some night to be on the forum tonight. Wow, you guys are really just at each other tonight.
It's not that. Oh, trust me, we're not that bad. Good grief. All right, it's you. Go ahead.
Hey, I get to hear some of the craziest stuff on here. I swear. I mean, from these guys drooling over the girls to these kind of shenanigans. Wow. Okay. Enough said about the guys. This was a very good match to close the show with for the week, especially with the heels picking up the much-needed win heading into the pay-per-view. You know, they outsmarted the faces instead of, you know, doing the cliche cheap finish type thing. And, you know, it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it, you know, and even with the way they began with the dirty start there where Corbin tried to attack Nakamura as he's coming down the ramp. I mean, it didn't even affect how the match went. I mean, it was just, you know, I thought it was a very good match. I'll give this one 3 to 3.25 stars. You know, great match. Love the way, you know, it went and everything. And yeah, it gives Owens, you know, the heads up going into the pay-per-view, but that doesn't always mean he's going to win at the pay-per-view either. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens and how this plays out. But definitely a good end to the go-home show for the night. So, Fletch, I'll toss it back to you. Oh, Lord, what are we going to hear next?
Ha 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 ha. Very funny there, sweetheart. All right. So we're going to go like this. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. 3.5 stars is my rating for this fight. This was solid. This was amazing. This is SmackDown Live. That's how you get it done. Great main event. a solid fight. Yes, I know the ending probably is not going to be left to be desired, but it gives momentum. It gives us a nice little something. And what this was, anything that needed to be pushed down the throat, it was smooth. It felt seamless. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like anything cheap. And that's what it is. It wasn't nothing cheap. You did what you needed to do. You had a bit, your vision and the business at hand was you had to sell Battleground WWE Universe, and especially to the fans in Philly, to get your butts out of your seats, go to the Ticketmaster, and get your tickets for the show. That this is going to be a quality event. And what they did, they brought everything home. They brought it in a nice form and didn't have to resort to any of the stupidity we saw last night on Monday Night Raw. So at the end of the day, they did what they had to do. Solid match. And I don't mind that Nakamura and AJ Styles lost. They're going to be fine. Like Didi Woodson said, the people that really needed to benefit this was Kevin Owens, especially Kevin Owens. He needed this win. And Baron Corbin. But when they did it, it worked. It was solid. I loved it. And that's how you get stuff done. That's how you do it. You want to answer the critics? You want to prove to the people why you're the top show on WWE right now? That's how you get it done. By not cheapening anything else. And on top of that, yes, it might have been a little bit of a kooky finish, which is fine. But as long as we got a necessary outcome, unlike last night, again, with Raw's main event, that was basically a great match, except we had no ending to it. We had a conclusion tonight. So that's one thing that we can say with definitively, and we don't have to cry or moan about at the end of the day. As long as you do what you do and do what makes you bring to the dance. And that is, SmackDown was always preached on the land of opportunity and good quality wrestling. That's what we stand by. That's what Team Blue stands by. And damn it, tonight you saw it. Hook, line, and sinker. End of quotation, end of statement, period. It's yours.
That's exactly how I probably would have done it if we were doing the commentary, not like today, with you as Tom Phillips and me as JBL. No, if we were talking about, as we've always done in MF, with you as Gorilla Monsoon and me as either Jesse Ventura or Bobby Heenan, which I can pull off either one, that. But nonetheless, the only thing you forgot to mention about it was I would have said he got him. Big win. Big win for Owens and Corbin. That's what I would have said. And then you would have chimed in with the let's get the official word in the whole 9 yards. But nonetheless, this was the fight of the night for me. I'm going to give this about 3.25 to 3.5 stars. I mean, very good match to close the show with the heels picking up a much-needed win heading into the pay-per-view on Sunday. And I also like that they just outsmarted the faces instead of a cliche, crappy, or, unnecessary finish. I mean, this was a highly entertaining main event that had the heels outsmart the baby faces instead of going with a cheap distraction finish. I like it because Styles and Nakamura winning here would have siphoned some of the interest away from their matches on Sunday. So yeah. This is the third match, the third thing on this night that, was that made for excellent storyline progression. Cena and Rusev, you put heat on Rusev. Becky Lynch beating Charlotte Flair. You give her much needed momentum. And then you give momentum and you also put heat on Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin for as you put them over the super dream team of AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. So yeah, wonderful match. I mean, great action throughout. I mean, we all knew this was going to be the fight of the night. Come on, and are we surprised by this? No. MF hit everything on the nose. Even that little shot he took at Raw, it hurts. Yes, yeah, that one hurt a little bit. It stung, but at the same time, MF, you're absolutely spot on. That's all I can say on that. I hate to admit it, but this is one time this Raw guy has to agree with the SmackDown Live guy. Oh, I hate it when that happens. But unfortunately, he was right. I couldn't have said that any better myself. 3.25, 3.5 stars, easily the fight of the night. So let's get to our overall review, MF.
You can't see the camera because I'm refusing to put it on, but I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat right now, man. I feel like the cat that just ate the canary, man. I'm trying to walk away right now.
Or the Roadrunner catching the coyote again.
Yeah, basically the anvil dropped right on the coyote. Me, pew, see ya. I'm going. All right. While Dee Dee wasn't probably trying to compose herself from the laughter she's probably dying from right now, probably saying, "Oh my God, they just outdid themselves again with their antics." Anthony, I'm gonna toss it off to you, my friend. I'm gonna let you start off on the overall review. What did you think about SmackDown Live? How did they do tonight?
Better than Raw, that's for damn sure. 7, I think 7.5. I think is the best way to go. I mean, overall, this show was saved by the wrestling and fell short anytime it tried to do anything narratively. I mean, some are saying they're limping into Battleground from a story perspective, and hopefully they could overcome that with some solid action on Sunday to make the transition to SummerSlam a little smoother. That's what some of the critics are saying. What I'm saying is this was a very good show. I mean, SmackDown Live delivers again. And like I said, storyline progression at its absolute finest here tonight. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. Owens and Corbin over Nakamura and Styles. And then the second best fight, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. Rounding out the top three, Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston. I mean, oh yeah, that's right. I should have thrown that in there as well. Storyline progression. I mean, that's another storyline progression. Putting Jimmy Uso over Kofi Kingston. I mean, you put heat on the Usos, and you've got both of those teams square one, even going into that tag team title bout on Sunday night. So, yeah, you put the Usos over. They needed it. You got some heat on Rusev, on John Cena, after that awesome promo that Cena delivered, and then you also had the Becky Lynch going over Charlotte. That's storyline progression. And then how about in the main event, you put Owens and Corbin over. You put some heat on them, much needed heat on them. So nothing on the show was really remotely bad. I mean, the only thing that, kind of bothered me, well, there were only two things that really were not all that good, and that is the Kanellis and Zayn fight, which was fine, and then that unnecessary segment, but with Breezango. But other than that, I mean, yeah, this was a solid show. I mean, some of the things could have been better. So I'm thinking 7 to 7.5, maybe higher, but I really don't know. So that's really all I can say on that. So another solid edition of SmackDown Live. Very good go-home show. Storyline progression at its finest tonight. And now let's wait and see until Sunday night for the event. But we're going to preview it Friday. So that's all I can say on that. So once again, SmackDown Live better than Monday Night Raw this time around. So again, hurts me to say it, but it's true. So Dee Dee Woodson, your overall thoughts on this Go Home to Battleground edition of SmackDown Live?
Yeah, I'm going to probably up it just a tad bit and go from 7.5 to 8. Very good show, great storyline progression. So glad to hear that Sunday will be the last one of these stupid promo things for Breezango Um, but yeah, it was a very good go home show. Uh, they definitely took care of uh, getting us all ready for the pay-per-view, and you know, I, I guess you could say I'm more of a SmackDown person myself as well, and I definitely enjoyed this a lot better than Raw. I haven't seen too many Raws that I have actually been able to sit through and not have some sort of complaint about. So I don't have any complaints on this one. I mean, it was, even the low segments still had some sort of a storyline progression. Even the stupid Fandango promo thing, it was still a little bit of a storyline progression, because we're going to finally find out who I guess caused all this. And one of the rumors I heard was it could be Harper and Rowan. So, if it is, that'd be an interesting storyline to go with. But yeah, even though most all of them were heels that took it tonight, still, like y'all said, much needed wins for the heels. Even though some of these guys, aren't as liked as well as the faces, but still they need their time as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how this leads to the big finish here at the pay-per-view. So enough said here. See you guys Friday. Good night, guys.
All right. Good night, Dee Dee. I agree with her rating. I'm gonna give this about 7.5 to 8. I thought this was a really good show. They really delivered on so many fronts, on so many levels, and once again, I kind of said it, and yeah, I did throw that dagger at Monday Night Raw, and I will repeatedly throw daggers at Raw every chance I get when I feel like I deserve to throw a dagger or two at them. I think what SmackDown did tonight was they kind of avoided trying to do that big mistake like Raw did last night. There wasn't a foolish segment or something that would get us in any type of negative territory, because I think SmackDown kind of learned their lesson, especially after that debacle, especially in the women's side, how the ending of that fight happened and caused a damn near riot. Had Michael Bullock, Anthony Flair, and Didi Woodson all just go in on SmackDown Live, and I had to duck and cover, basically because I knew that bomb went off, and I had to duck. I had to cover for myself because I knew one of those arrows was gonna come straight for me, and I did not want to get hit. So we finally rode the ship. We finally learned our lessons, and I hope that we continue to learn our lessons and do it in the way, with honor, with integrity, with the awesomeness that they've been doing it lately. And hopefully it is going to be really good. And I like what I saw. It's been great. So yeah, 7.5 to 8 out of 10 is my rating. All right, guys. I talked about it. It's time for the Mikey's Mindset. And there's only one thing I'm covering tonight, and that is RWA Legacy number 10. It's going down this Saturday night from the Thayer Arena in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and it is without a doubt the biggest event of the year. There is no doubt about it. This is the show you do not want to miss. This show will single-handedly become the greatest wrestling event in the state of Rhode Island. Every year, they get bigger and better and more awesome. The Renegade Wrestling Alliance has become, without a doubt, the hottest ticket in town. And this time, they've raised the stakes even more higher this time around because it is the 10th anniversary of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. Legacy and Dynasty are their biggest events of the year. And Legacy, which is their WrestleMania, I've witnessed it. I was fortunate enough to go to Legacy 8. And I was fortunate enough to see Legacy 9. And they were unbelievable. Unfortunately, because of work commitments beyond my control this time, I will not be able to witness Legacy 10. And quite frankly, I am ticked about it because this card is absolutely loaded. All right. So with that said, let's kick it off. And I am going to screen share everything, folks, to give you the rundown of Legacy 10. We started off with a championship fight for the RWA Hype Championship. It is the champion, the Honorable Judge Logan Chambers, puts the title on the line against the #1 contender, Just Alex. Just Alex won at elite status a #1 contenders match and earned the right to face the judge with the title on the line for what undoubtedly will be a very interesting matchup. But let me tell you, Judge Logan Chambers is a very interesting individual. This guy, I mean, I don't know how much he bench presses, but I think I remember he bench presses over 400 to 500 pounds. Like, he is a monster, a beast, and I'll even call him. He almost is like a monster among men. I'll even say that. For Judge Logan Chambers, he is without a doubt one of the toughest champions that is out there right now in the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. And Just Alex, he's going to have to be quick. He's going to have to be fast. He's going to have to basically pick his moments against Judge Logan Chambers, because if he does not, Logan is going to ragdoll him up and down and all over that there arena on Saturday night. And I will openly admit this. If that happens, Judge Logan Chambers walks out of this fight with still the RWA Hype Championship in his possession. Just Alex is a very resourceful person, and it would be an upset if he walks out of here with the belt on Saturday night. So we will see how that will play out. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the very least. Title on the line, Judge Chambers, Just Alex, Saturday night at the Thayer Arena. Get your tickets right now for what undoubtedly will be a truly remarkable and amazing championship fight. Okay, so next up we have is a very unique situation. Now, is massive. You want to talk about what could be a moment that could shape and change the face of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance forever. Big Daddy T Phoenix reunites with the agency, and he teams up with Jason Devine and Billy Ware, and they're going to go up against Jimmy Hansen, Vinny Abruzzi, and Chris Sterling. Now, what has been going on has been a back and forth war between and T Phoenix. These were two of the guys that was mainly responsible for the Renegade Wrestling Alliance to be created 10 years ago. And there's always been this back and forth between these two men. And this has been simmering for over 10 years. Backstage politics, some stuff that has happened outside of the ring, and it's come to a point where it had to come to this. A war, a fight that's probably going to settle this once and for all. A 6-man tag. And Jason Devine and Billy Ware are, especially Jason Devine, who's a former RWA Tag Team Champion, and Billy Ware, who's really a good quality talent in RWA. And then you got Vinny Abruzzi, another member who's a former RWA Tag Champion, and Chris Sterling, who was, part of a group, the International Man of Honor. He was actually the bail for Judge Logan Chambers, and then he was, a school teacher, but now he's become he's come on his own as a brute force. I'm gonna kick your ass individual. And with Jimmy Hansen and T Phoenix, combustible elements that's about to explode. You talk about mega powers exploding at WrestleMania 5. This better be ready. Yes, we're in a hockey rink. Yes, we're in an arena, the Thera Arena, which is inside of a hockey rink. You talk about 5 minutes for fighting, they might end up taking the fight into the penalty box and letting this go. So this is going to be epic. What a matchup it's going to be. I can't wait to see this Saturday night. Well, I can't wait for you guys to see this. Unfortunately, I lose out on this. But whatever the case may be, let's wait. All right. So next up, we got a big fight, a big match. And that is for the RWA Tag Team Championship of the World. The Middlesex Express goes up against the heavy hitters. Now, this fight was set up because at Elite Status has got a victory over the heavy hitters, thanks in large in part to T Phoenix. And now this is going to be the war that you're going to have. Basically, it's Shay Callow and Frank Champion putting the titles on the line against the Middlesex Express. But the one man who could be the X factor in this fight is a big brute force named Derek Andrews, who's in the corner of the heavy hitters. The Middlesex Express is really going to have to figure out a way to try to neutralize that outside interference. Hopefully, Derek does not get involved, but you cannot, throw that out the window. You got to kind of think about it as a possible threat. And if for the Middlesex Express, if they can somehow walk out of here with the tag team titles on Saturday night, it's going to have to be that they're going to have to deal with Callow, Champion, and they probably are going to have to deal with Derek Andrews as well. If for some reason they can do it, they're going to win the gold. I don't know if they can balance that out. That's going to be interesting to watch. But if they can pull it off, I'm going to tip my cap off to the Middlesex Express. I got a lot of respect for these guys. I didn't have a respect for them at the beginning, but they earned my respect. they got my respect now, and I wish them nothing but the best going up against the reigning and defending champions, because let me tell you, the heavy hitters, they are no joke. They are unbelievable. They are powerful, and they are definitely the personification of tag team wrestling. Anthony, you would love this because they love to cut the ring off in half, and they do it better than any other team in the RWA right now. Now, let's just say that. All right. Next up we have is a one. Let's see what we got here. Whoops. Hold up. That wasn't supposed to happen. All right. Hold on. Come on. My RWA legacy. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what. I probably hit the wrong thing. I wasn't supposed to. All right. Now, what we have is a match, and I believe this is about the gauntlet. Just double check here. Is this for the gauntlet? Actually, no, that's not it. Let's see. Where are we here? That was that. All right, here we go. So the next fight we're going to have, which is going to be our opening match of Legacy, Chris Cruz going one-on-one with Stan Styles. Okay, now Stan Styles is basically, this is going to be a fun matchup. I've seen Stan Styles before, Stan the Man Styles, and, I was impressed. He was pretty impressive. I liked what I saw. Chris Cruz, this guy, big fan of Chris Cruz, former RWA hype champion. This is going to be a very fun matchup, a nice attraction just to whet the appetite of the fans to get this event going. This is going to be a very good opening matchup. We're going to see how this plays out. This will be an interesting one-on-one attraction. All right. Next up we got is also a one-on-one match. Frank the Crank is going one-on-one against Kellen Thomas. Now, Crank, he was getting a little bit under, he wasn't really happy with everything that was happening. He kind of got a new attitude, a new thing. Okay, here's what happened. One day, the Insane Dick Lane and the Terror Tom Billington, they actually did something really crazy. And they actually went to Cameron, North Carolina, and they went into the Hardy compound and went to the Lake of Reincarnation. Yes, they got some of the water from that Lake of Reincarnation, and they went back. And I don't know, I think they were going to do some kind of scientific testing or something like that. Well, Frank the Crank got a water bottle, drank out of that bottle, and he actually got it. He actually drank the water from the Lake of Reincarnation. What happened next was Frank the Crank basically got this meaner, more hostile, more badass attitude. Like he was happy-go-lucky, yeah, let's crank it up, and the whole 9 yards. Oh no, he went buzzkill on everyone. I mean, that, I don't know what's in that water of the Lake of Reincarnation, man. But one thing for sure, he's going to want to make Kellen Thomas obsolete and try to delete him on Saturday night. And one thing's for sure, Kellen Thomas is not no slouch, guys. He's a really good wrestler, too. So, Frank the Crank, you better watch yourself. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Fun match, good match. We're going to see what happens here. But, oh, man. So, that's going to be one of the interesting tag team matches that's going down on Saturday night. And then we have ourselves a tag team attraction. This one is going to be the Main Street Posse versus my boys, Monster Mac, Training Number 1, Team Mac Attack. Holy freaking crap! That's all I'm saying about this. This is going to be a really good matchup. I cannot wait to see this. This is going to be an entertaining match because think about this. You got yourselves Team Mac Attack, RWA Originals, and they're going up against a tag team from the NCW and Nova. We're talking about Nova. I don't believe this is that company from Japan. I don't think this is them. I think this is like a Northeast Northeast company. They are the tag team champions in the NCW and in the Nova promotion. This is a big test for Team Mac Attack, because if they win this fight, this will really put them up the ladder into future, contention for a tag team championship. If you can beat a team that's a two division champ, a 2 promotion champion, that's a big win if you win this fight. But for the Main Street Posse, they're also looking to make their way in the RWA tag team division. If they win this fight, they put themselves in a great spot too. So we'll wait and see what happens. Big fight feel. All right. Next up, we got is a all right. I think this one don't need any more introduction. All right. So here we go. Participants. It is King Leon the Sixth, and he presents his gauntlet to find a knight for his kingdom. Now, this has, I think there is AJ Punk, Little Daddy Bravo, you got Deanna on Fire, you got basically 6 individuals that's gonna fight in a match, and basically the winner of this will most likely get to join the new stable, the Kingdom of King Leon the Sixth. So really interesting to see, because I've seen Deanna on Fire. She is not only beautiful, stunning, and vicious. You gotta watch her. She does not play with a full deck, man. She does not play with a full deck. Lil Daddy Bravo, I've seen him in many matches. I'm very impressed with his body of work as well. Tim Davidson, well, he was back in the day, he was Thor Davidson, and that's going to be an interesting fight. AJ Punk, AJ Phoenix now, he is rising up and becoming a big name in the RWA, and he's won some championships in his own right. Now, does he get an opportunity to join the court of the kingdom with King Leon the Sixth? So, to wait and see. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, and the winner of this will definitely have to earn their way to join the kingdom. So this is going to be very, very, very compelling, to say the very least. Next up we have, is a match, a tag team fight. Unfortunately, I can't find the graphic for this. So I want to say, is it here? All right. I guess I'm going to have to free swing this. But what it was Kellen Thomas and the Suplex Sweetheart, Asana, and they're going up against the Terror Tom Billington, and they're going up against the Insane Dick Lane. All right. What happened here? Now, let me see if I can find it on Tom Billington's, if I can find it here. Because if I can find it, maybe I can get the. I found it. All right, here we go. I got it. There it is. Right here. Cue Facebook. There it is, guys. It's Sean Leader and Asana versus Tom Billington and the Insane Dick Lane. All right. What happened was at Elite Status, or not too long ago, aligned with Tom Billington and Dick Lane. They had a victory during a match not too long ago, and Tom Billington and Dick Lane betrayed her. They backstabbed her. They laid her out, beat down City in the center of the ring at the Chop Shop in Pawtucket. Sean Leiter shows up, and he's like, you know what? Are you all right? She's like, yeah, but I'm so pissed. I want revenge. I want blood, but I need a partner. I need help. Me up on this. He's like, you know what? All right, I'll do it. Let's do it together. You and me, we team up. We take on Dick Lane and Tom Billington, and we go to war. You're going to expect. What is the mindset of the suplex sweetheart Asana? Because I know for a fact she is pissed about what went down at the Chop Shop, and she wants to rip to shreds Tom Billington and the Insane Dick Lane. They started a fight that I don't know if they're going to be able to finish. And deep down inside, she wants payback in the worst possible way. And remember, boys, hell has no fury like a woman scorned, and she is scorned. Get ready, guys. This is going to be fireworks galore. A tag team attraction Saturday night at the Thayer Arena. And now it leads us to the main event of the evening. And ladies and gentlemen, get no bigger than this next fight. For Legacy, the biggest belt in his company is the RWA Triple Crown Championship. It is without a doubt not only the most premier title in the company, but it's the most coveted and the most valued belt. And when it's all said and done, there's going to be one match, one fight, one war, and it will determine who is the best in the RWA. That's the official poster, but this on the top is your marquee matchup, your main event of Legacy 10 for the RWA Triple Crown Championship in a fatal four-way match. It is going to be the champion, the ace, Mike Montero, and he's going to have to put the title on the line against three opponents. The Brick, David Baker, the man from the Mile High City, Nick Marchand, and from the home of rock and roll, Cleveland, Ohio, a man that I was fortunate enough to do a special interview with not too long ago. The man, former RWA Triple Crown champion, Chairman Jack. It is without a doubt the biggest main event in RWA history. Three of these men, Nick Marchand, Ace Mike Montero, and Jimmy Jack Connor, they've all have been RWA Triple Crown champions. David Baker has never reached that unreachable star. He has never been an RWA Triple Crown champion. If he wins the four-way on Saturday night, he becomes the man of the company. What it's all about. Being the top dog in the promotion, being the man of the RWA, the face of the company, is on the line in this one epic battle. And when it's all said and done, only one man, hey, I am the one. The RWA Triple Crown champion. It don't get no bigger than this. This event don't get bigger than this. This is the one event that you want to go see and witness for yourself. If you never gone to an RWA show, the event you want to go, it jumps off at 7 p.m. Eastern at the Thayer Arena in Warwick, Rhode Island. $10 to get in, $5 if you're 12 and under. If you want VIP seating, it's $15. You get a poster and you get the front row seating at ringside for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else I need to prove to you to go to this show? It don't get no bigger than this, and it will not get any more amazing. This is the one event that you want to witness. I hope I did it justice. Thank you so much, RWA, for always being there by my side and always having my back. And guys, go out there, support RWA, and yes, believe the hype. The hype is real. All right, so with that said, that's the end of the Mikey's Mindset, and that's the end of Cerebral Smack Talk. So, Friday night, 10:30 Eastern, we're going to preview Battleground on the Battleground of a special edition of another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We're previewing Battleground. That's going down on Sunday night from Philadelphia. And then Sunday night, right here on this channel again, we're going to be doing another recap. That's going to be for Battleground itself. Man, my channel normally gets a little quiet around these times. Not that many. Maybe I do a video once in a rare while. You're going to have 3 videos in 1 week on this channel on BravesFan95. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This is going to be a fun week for myself. It's going to be busy for me. I got a lot of work ahead of myself. But one thing's for sure, folks. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a wonderful time with this. In case to enjoy this event. Special props to all the great fans out there. You guys are the best fans in the world. You guys already know that. So, Anthony Floyo, thank you very much. Dee Woodson, thank you very much. Mike Bullock, in spirit, love you, man. And Derek Ferreira, as always, you're always the best. And the producers, I love you guys. Comment on the bottom of the video, like the video, share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. Until Friday night, 10:30 Eastern, right here on BravesFan95. It is good old MF Mike Fletcher. You know the routine. Hug the hand pounds. I'm out. Have a good night, everybody. And so long for now.